chain link fence. It's back. That's where it's starting. It's starting to grow again over there.
Right.
What I don't understand is if you're homeless, and I'm not being an asshole, the homeless person that I really, you saw how much stuff that guy had. He had a TV, he had everything. This guy's walking around with like trailers behind him, like like a wagon, pulling some. I can't imagine life being that way where you have to keep your stuff like that. And where do you sleep? And how do you have to leave it and trust that you're going to find it or that it's going to be there? I really, the empathy that I have for people with mental illness, and I'm going to go with what you said. Yes, if you have, like, it's hard to get a job when you've been on this. Even if you have been, you have to be clean. You have to have clean clothes. It's hard to get that job.
If you can create a condo in the sky under a bridge, soap and water should not be a hard thing for you to accomplish.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying you need certain things. I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking like a person with goals. You got goals. I got goals. So that's unacceptable.
I just don't know. One, I don't think, especially people on the street, are of sound mind when you say that. But
get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Play. Fuck that. Nice.
Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
The rock salts are coming tomorrow.
Round
Yeah.
1. Fight.
Oh my callous veins from Sarah.
Fight.
No. No, Michael.
You win.
No.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
That's not like
Get ready for the next battle.
Army. Army. Good boy now. Rose. That was a counter.
Someone was on the gym and I see this interesting video that Arsenal has on it's how to learn matches in Tekken 8. I've also made a lot of videos like this of how to learn matches in Tekken 8, how to fight the different characters. So I want to see how one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, labs matches and how to learn matches in Tekken 8. So to get a break this down, and I'm going to put in my 2 cents about out to see if I do videos and stuff like that. Be sure to comment, subscribe, and like. I like these high-level breakdowns. We do this all the time. Let's get into the video.
Hello guys, welcome back to today's video. I'm going to
Check out the blue team design.
5 minutes ready matches. So we're going to cover all the matches.
Oh, he loves me. Hey, these boys love trophies in the Red Bull. You learn how to learn matches.
Matchup. I have to play up there in the practice for the practice for the best for it. But like we're gonna do even do all their matchup.
That's cool that he's actually doing videos like this. He's actually breaking down. He does a lot of tournaments and stuff. People don't really know. Like, how does he like matches? How does he know what to do? And it's right what he says. A lot of people, when they go into practice mode, they just kind of just do it random. They don't really know how to last. There's an example. There's a guy who practice mode. All he does is practice setups and combos. He doesn't really practice anti-characters.
Yeah.
So it's very important to know what you're doing in practice mode when you're having these characters. Oh, nice intro. Oh, damn, sponsor boys. Fire, Wamba. Nice.
The first thing is you cannot memorize everything. So don't force yourself. Hello guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'll be explaining you the biggest reason why players stuck in learning matchups. So we're gonna cover how to learn matchup and which part is focusing on learning matchup. I have the diagram here. This is practice, this is open practice for and this is right of the best for it. But like we're gonna just go deep into how to learn matchup. Let's get started. The very first thing is you cannot memorize everything. So don't force yourself to memorize everything. There is no reason. So like, let's say Yoshimitsu has 10 moves, like not 10, like hundreds of moves. Like leave him alone, he had like a lot of moves, right? He can them. So that's one thing that we have to remember, you cannot remember everything, and don't force yourself to remember each and every situation and each and every move and how much minus is that or how much plus is that. You don't need to do it. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter if you're bored, it doesn't matter if you're doing intermediate, whatever you are, like wherever you are. And I don't remember everything, you know, in my streams I have enough, you know, how much minus is that, or how much plus is that, you know. It's just like, just focus. Let's say, I'm thinking, so I will give you an example of me. So if you are learning Visa matchup, you
just need to focus on like 5 or 6 moves. I think it's gonna help you, and then if you just remember those 5, 10 moves, 5, 6 moves, and maybe just add more if you're like very good. But if you're advanced, maybe just try to memorize like 10 keys of Nina, you know. So let's say Nina has like 5 keys. What if there are like keys? So she's down for 1. Her down for 1 is her strength. Like without down for 1, she can't do anything. You know, whole game plan, Nina game plan is around her down for 1. Down for 1 is taken. Going forward, the Nina down for 1 is the -1. So you need to like make sure she's there. If I'm playing with the Nina player, doesn't matter if it's like a 2 or top player in a clan or whatever. He's gonna be playing around mine down for 1 or down for 1 to find him. Also, the other move Nina has is back to 2. And it's saying to figure out because that's the big advantage. So that is just a high moving move. Which is amazing. They should have nerfed it. They already nerfed that. The third move back to 2. But it's still good. So this player is gonna press a lot of back to 2. And back to 2 has a third string which is back to 2. That's high. So that's 2 things. And the other thing I would say, Nina player because the board is down for 1. Having a save down for 2, so down for 2 in the game is very important. You know, characters having save down for 2 is very important versus characters like Dragunov, you know, versus rushdown characters like Orang, Dragunov, Wixapla versus Ryan, King, you know, they just generally go down for 1. You know, if they hit you, if you're down for 2, if you hit them, it's good. It's a free combo. If it doesn't hit you, hit them, it's fine. Just try to make sure you don't wish down for 2, but that's another thing. What is the other thing? The fourth move is down back 3. Nina has to go. Nina has a down back 3, so you should be like, oh, this guy, he's gonna throw a lot of down back 3 as well, you know. And the last move is side step 1. Side step 1 mind game is really important, you know. Okay, so side step 1 is like plus 10 or so. She can do whatever she wanna do. Like she can do side step 1 to power 1, the high alternate combo move, and 2 and 3 and 1 plus 2. So we're not gonna go into like break down Nina, you know, kind of video. But the whole point is like this is your learning. So that's the first thing, guys. You don't need to remember everything. Just remember the key moves of that character. So now you need to remember, okay, what is this character bank? You know, in tournament, what Nina does, how she can make a comeback. Like this is also very important to learn. After learning like top 5, top 7 moves, you should be learning, okay, so how she can make a comeback, you know? If I am a lead and if Nina player has to make a comeback, how they gonna make a comeback? So the answer is like Nina players, they're gonna throw a lot of physical things, a lot of vibe to throw. If your reaction sucks, you're gonna eat vibe to throw and you're gonna lose. But if you are a good player, if you already know that, you know, that's the only way Nina can do, you know, make a comeback, or maybe she's gonna do a lot of down back speed. There is no other. Also the third thing is what are Nina plus frames? What are Nina frame traps? You know, like the main frame traps, like how can she like she frame trap? I think first thing is that she can do down back 3 and then she can do power super, so that's a frame trap. You're gonna take side step. Few characters can take side step easy, and maybe a few other characters up or down the 3 power super 4. Only a few characters can take side step, and also it's range. You can some characters can take side step on a specific range. Maybe every character can take side step on a specific range. So that's another thing. Like you need to remember, like what are the plus frames, you know, after running 1 plus 2 she's a plus 4. Same mind game, power super, so you're gonna take side step. The same mind game after down back 3, she's plus 4, but you are in crouching. So just remember, like her, let's say after memorizing her 5 that character 5 main moves, just remember like how can that character make a comeback. The third thing is that okay, what are that character like 3, 4 like frame trap. Just remember that. I think it's gonna help you guys so much winning that matchup. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now we can say like we are moving towards like advanced level, okay? So what that character is trying to achieve. I think that thing is very important. Like what if I am playing versus let's say Dragunov, what Dragunov is trying to achieve. So when you ask yourself this question, like okay, whatever, it doesn't matter who are playing R3 for it could be anyone, right? So what that character is trying to achieve is this question is very important. Ask yourself, okay, if you are playing with the Dragunov, he's gonna throw, he's gonna press a lot of jabs, and he's gonna a lot of ready. His game plan is around a lot of down forward. and then mind game up and down forward. Okay, so you remember, okay, up and down, I mind game is better. So you should be okay. Up and down, back. Sometimes I press, sometimes I don't press. Sometimes I take side step, sometimes I mash. So this is the mind game. And what else is it? He's gonna do a lot of down for once, a lot of different ones, and he trying to get complicated running, so that's the whole point. You should be like, okay, so I should be taking sides of more, There he's playing, he is using a lot of running, so I can take sides up, and I can launch him. So what Ryan is trying to do, so he has a lot of combinations, right, forward 3, 3 plus 4, 2 step 1, so he's gonna be like doing a lot of like big and also has one more exercise. Okay, so he has a lot of products, right? So the whole purpose of like the whole idea, like what Brian is trying to achieve is he's trying to counter it with the please take the smoke is back 1 minute, forward 3, 1 to 4, So this is like the whole mind game of playing what we try. You should be avoiding, okay, I'm not gonna get counter it. But then you go going for minus player, then I can start playing pressure, something like that. It's also sort of mind game, and then you can play some characters like sport like me, you can play having a little bit of focus mode, but you can avoid a lot of things. But at level, you should be like asking yourself like, okay, so I should be like waiting for this back one, and I should be taking a lot of side steps because a lot of grind moves are linear, like this about 1 plus 2. Push back 1, like from close range and power 3, power 6 and neutral 3 plus 4. Also, I feel like countering hit more Brian from close range, it's acceptable. So you should be like playing close range game, versus Brian. So like that's like the most like determining or learning matchup game. So should I play close range game? Should I press more? But I would say you should be pressing more. You should be taking like playing close range game and taking more sides. That's I think the highest strategy, right? Otherwise, second game, it's like very easy now. It's like super easy. Just go to practice, go to replay, you can just control your character. You don't have to be in any situation. They can sound we used to do that. They can sound, they can cheer up in other fighting games. We used to do that. We still do that, right? We did. But they can be also like, trust me guys, that's what like, they have to cheer. If they can hit you, then you can control your match. And then you don't have to be creative because it's already created. You can just have to have, I think that's the best strategy to learn the matchup. Just go into extend and create a situation. But in the explain, that's also important. You just don't like, okay, you need to learn how it character comes, how that character functions, what it's doing, what it's trying to achieve, what are his 5 steps, all that stuff, but like practicing it in replay, it's really effective. I would also like, because if you have like taken we are not playing, they can sound, they can act, whatever. So every character has to you need to learn like, okay, what that character is doing, let's say Dragon, he has, now he just going into like 3 and 4, that's very cool. But he has crouching 1 4 and then he has crouching 3 1 6. That's and then how long combination when he does that, stuff like that. But so we are not going into like this. That's the last thing is, when sometimes if I'm like, I'm so right? But sometimes I feel like, maybe it's not like I don't watch the players. I should be watching other top players. Like I watch your team play. I watch some other arena gameplay. You learn something. You learn if you know something. You feel like I'm not learning, but what happens is that they're using the same move, which we might have just like going to usually what happens is that I was watching some online notification. I was like, oh, I don't use that move now. I just use that move now. It's not like it reminded me that I just learned something new, but I was like, okay, why I'm not using these moves recently, So it happens, so watching top tiers is also gonna help you. But I hope like these kind of videos are helpful and you are learning a lot from these videos. But yeah guys, hope if it's helpful, I'm happy that you're gonna learn your bad matches or matches you are struggling in. And thank you so much for watching.
Narco.
Wave Dash Supreme Leader. Alright, let's try one more time. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Wave Dash Supreme Leader, Prince of Electrics.
Lag, bro. Campaigners.
Get ready for the next battle.
Dilemma on how to hold the fight stick.
Get ready for the next battle. I hate rich people. So I don't know what it is. Round one. you want to learn martial arts? I hate rich people! Round one. Fight!
Bullshit.
Get ready for the next battle. ready for the next
Need
battle.
to get some garlic. I'm starting to get sick.
Round one. Fight.
Get some garlic after this match. Happy too late or
Round two.
garlic won't have any effect.
Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Final round. Fight.
Yeah. Go get some garlic. Be right back. Garlic. my garlic.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
Yoshi, miss you.
Round one. Fight.
dead. That was nice.
Round one. Fight.
Ah, are you serious? It's Kazuya. Ah, wrong button. Ah, instead of using that move, so got it.
Get ready for the next battle.
how to use an arcade stick for Street Fighter. Right now, I just want to say how to hold the stick and how to do the piano for Gen. Now, to hold the actual stick, some people prefer it between the two fingers. Some people prefer it between the pinky. I just like resting my hand comfortably and just holding it like this. And just to give a good balance with the thumb and the actual hand. And for the actual buttons, for the top three, I use just my longer fingers, and then for the heavier punch, I use my ring finger, and for the light kick, I use thumb. So just here, I use ring finger, these two are thumb, and this is all three fingers. I put no function on these buttons, just for them not to get in the way. And when people are playing, they usually like to switch between the two with their top three fingers, but I don't agree with that, because usually to grab or focus tag, I hold this or this, depending on what the situation is. And a lot of people are complaining about the piano technique. What I find best is the piano technique is the light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light punch, heavy punch. And all you have to do is do it really fast. Just really fast, and you will probably get an effect like this. And if you add in the heavy kick, it should go... I'm sorry, I haven't done this in a while. It's really hard to do with one hand. Like that. And then the one time where, to do the heavy kick, the medium kick, all you have to do is go at the same time that you do the actual piano. So, mid kick along with the actual piano, but I'm really sucking at it right now. Basically, the piano is just, what I told you. So it's that, and along with the medium kick, it's that. But for the most part, how to use the stick is just hold the control really comfortably and have the buttons in a comfortable state, just so you can get comfortable with actually using your characters. I don't usually use Gen, I usually use Cody. And if you want to add me, my gamer tag is back over the bus, and I'd like to base you. There's how to use a stick, and I'm just practicing right now. See ya.
Round one. Fight.
I'm dead, man. Shit.
You win. 話にならんな。Get ready for the next battle.
Alright, I think the garlic's ready.
I'm sure many of you have wondered, since I've praised both. That's why even I can reach master rank despite not being used. However, I have to add one caveat, or I'd be lying, regarding the second one. This isn't just something for leverless controllers. You know those arcade sticks with a jump button, the ones supervised by Hachi-san? With those kinds of arcade sticks, where the lever's up input is disabled and the jump button is added, you can also perform leverless style short films. In short, things like free-frame inputs for standing parries or crouch. I've detailed this in a video, so if you haven't seen it, please take a look. Well, my conclusion remains the same. Actually, it's the opposite. The lever side is going out of its way to add buttons and even jump switch toggles just to catch up. The fact that they're trying to do that shows just how powerful it is to be able to input movement with buttons. But in games like Tekken, where multiple movement inputs are allowed, that advantage doesn't exist to begin with. Let me explain in detail. In Tekken, there are a finger. Controllers don't quite mesh well. Also, I know someone is definitely going to bring this up.
But why not just map the left inputs to the right side of the lever list and press them with your right hand? It's true that this does solve the problem. For multiple movement inputs, I actually do this myself when I use a leverless controller. However, when you do that, your movement inputs are no longer handled solely by your left hand. I want you to compare this to Street Fighter, where you only use your right hand for a split second to fire your dope into an attack. It's only momentary. But movement in Tekken is a constant, ongoing motion, so the quality of using the same right hand is completely different. This isn't just a finger issue. Even Tekken 6 pros say that.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
Oh, it's some bullshit.
Nigdy nie ugnę się przed niesprawiedliwością.
Round one. Fight.
Przed niesprawiedliwością.
Get ready for the next battle.
I want to go through these 5 habits that make people instantly dislike you.
Yes. So these are tiny little things that a lot of people do without even realizing that they're doing this sort of stuff. First one is,
Oh my god, so true. Charlie Hooper is a leading expert in charisma and confidence.
his insights and practical techniques have helped millions of people master communication and body language.
To thrive in both personal and professional relationships.
How important is charisma?
It's perhaps the most underrated piece of success, and its ability to speak with conviction, the ability to influence, and the ability to connect with people. I mean, no, he talks like he's the literal presidency of the United States of America. It's so impressive.
And it's just
Yeah. Because growing up, I was friend, connection, there was dating, there was this union up here, partners to the experience. One of them being sexual abuse. And I felt disgusted. I was struggling and frustrated with the compensation side things as a result of it. And so I learned all the tips and tricks to develop confidence and became a completely different person. There's prey versus predator, which is tremendously important first impressions. And then there's a charismatic trait which women are attracted to. The staff. So I have 6 characteristics for success, and there's plenty more. Okay, so let's break it down.
I have been forced into a battle with my team. We're about to hit 10 minutes of press with YouTube, which is our biggest market ever. Thanks to all I have is that one show is behind the scenes. So, please listen to this, Steve. For every new subscriber we get in the next 30 days, can $1 be given to our celebration on the entire team. So if you want to see every team wins $1 here, all you got to do is hit subscribe. So actually, this is the first time I've been telling you not to subscribe. It might have been costing me.
This is never works.
Benefited from your work, and tens of thousands of people have been through your university learning about something. If you had to explain in your own words what it is that you're doing for those people in a simple way, how would you say that?
Take all the situations where you're interacting with another person, whether it's at your work, dating, friends and groups, and take the times that you're feeling that you're not grounded in that sense of confidence that you maybe have when you're sitting at home on the couch with your friend or your family, and bring the best version of yourself to those situations. I think a lot of people also want flowing conversations. They want to feel like themselves. They want to be the person that is respected and is admired. When they walk into a room, they want other people to notice them. That's one of the big ones that we hear from guys, is they want to be the person that anytime they enter a room that women and men take notice of them. It usually isn't a cute thing. So a lot of people show up because there's a girl that they liked and it's not going well or something like that. Or they went out for a promotion and somebody that they felt was less qualified than them wound up getting the job. So they come in with a very acute social situation that they would like to change. They like to get the girl, they like to get the job, they like to be the leader. But when people have gone through the course, what I see is they speak more about a sense of joy in life and confidence, because I think that if you feel disconnected from people, there's actually read a thing this morning that some guy said, I came here and I started applying your ideas and I got more tips at my job as a waiter, which is really good. But also, I felt as if I'd fallen into denial. Like I was just, things didn't matter anymore. And my ability to connect with people is shifting now. I feel more connected, less nihilistic.
It's interesting because when people use words like phrases like body language and charisma and confidence, they sound like tips and tricks and stuff, but when I think about the impact that these things have had on my own life, when I think about even presidential elections, how our society is designed and who rises to the top and who doesn't, so much of it seems to depend on whether you understand naturally or through learning the skills how to be charismatic, confident, how to sell, how to get someone else in some situation to believe you, to buy into what you have to say. So I guess my question to you is, how important is it? Like in
someone that has the skills that you teach people versus someone that doesn't, how much of a trajectory shift is that going to make you think on their life?
To me, so there's the external question of what is it going to allow you to achieve in the world, and then there's the internal question of what is your subjective experience of your life. Starting with the internal, to me it's almost everything. Like if you feel disconnected from the world, it is very, very hard to feel good, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much your six-pack abs are working for you. Like, even if you have adulation and you have fame, but you feel disconnected from the people in your life, it is very hard to feel good. On the external side, I think it's tremendously underrated, and I think this is why people didn't see Donald Trump coming. Because does he have the best policies? Does he have the best record? Does he have any of these things? He is clearly someone who has gotten to where he has by talking. He talked his way into the literal presidency of the United States of America. And if I look just at my own life, at people who were advancing at work, and then when I started focusing on this stuff, it was not the best analyst. There was a guy who was a better analyst than me, and he did not get the off-track promotion that I got. And it was just because I made closer connections with the president of the company that he had. And so I think it's wildly underrated. I think a huge myth that people get is that if you get good grades, do what is asked of you in the job description, are generally kind and friendly, and speak honestly, that things are just going to work out for you. But there is a missing piece, which is, do other people connect with you and like you and want you to succeed? And I think it's perhaps the most underrated piece of success, which is why I put all my attention there. This wasn't like a play at making a lot of money or having a big YouTube channel. It was the highest leverage point that I felt and experienced in my own life.
And is it something that you can learn?
That is, yeah, I said there was a big myth. This is probably the first or second biggest myth, is that you can't learn it. And that, I believe that for, 18 years of my life. So the first portion of my life was charisma is being able to throw a football better than the other kids, right? Charisma is just the thing that you have at 13 that I definitely didn't have. And it was only around 18, 19, 20 that I realized that the way that I approached people in conversations had a dramatic impact on the responses that I got. So it is most definitely something you can learn. I feel like I'm a testament to that, and people who've gone through the course also feel that.
And if someone hasn't seen your YouTube channel, what is it you're doing on that YouTube channel? So say that we've got someone listening now, they've never heard of your channel before. Can you explain exactly what you've done on that channel, how long you've done it for, and how many situations you've looked at over the last decade?
Yeah, so basically what I would do is I would look at, it started with the Bill Clinton debate. That was the first video that I ever did. And there's this debate where Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr. are having a town hall, so it's them communicating directly with people. And it's known as the moment that Bill Clinton won the election. And it's him going up to this woman and she asks some question about politics or the thing, and he goes up and he says, how does this impact you? And he looks her dead in the eye, and you can tell she's feeling it. She's connected with him, and he gives his answer. So it's us breaking down those sorts of interactions. Some of them are in politics, some of them are on talk shows, and some of them are scripted TV shows where I'm just saying, hey, this is obviously a script, but it would work in real life if you did it like Jon Snow did in Game of Thrones or something. So we use that sort of as the hook because, a lot of people weren't looking. Charisma was not a topic that anyone was interested in 10 years ago. So we would hook people with Game of Thrones or this famous person, but the content of it would be how to handle interactions or how to lead more effectively. And these were things that I wasn't necessarily learning from these videos, but I was learning elsewhere in my life and then commenting on what I saw in these videos, and that really connected with our audience, and it's always getting 6.8 million subscribers.
It's incredible, and it's actually such an unbelievably powerful way to do it by showing real-world examples, also fictional examples. I was even watching you break down some interviews, the famous interview with
Kathy Newman, that was great.
And you break down exactly what's going on kind of both sides, and how Jordan ultimately ends up winning that argument by holding his position, and Kathy trying to put words into his mouth, etc. All of those things. But you break it down, moments from history, moments that we all know from movies, and tell us exactly what's going on in terms of like human connection, conversation, persuasion, leadership, influence, those situations. Incredibly fascinating. So let's talk about you.
Yeah.
Because people will look at you now and say, here, I don't think this is a guy that's always had confidence. You're a good-looking guy. You seem on that. It's going to be a great conversation as you exude charisma. But if we were to wind back I know that that's not always been the case.
Yeah.
So take me
You
back.
did your research. So, I grew up extremely shy and still am today an introvert. I mean, you can probably see it in the flash 5 or 6 minutes back to the beginning of this interview. Like, I started off nervous. I feel very comfortable now, but my default state is one of shyness, reservedness, and nervousness. And so that was just how I was for a long time. And when it came time to graduate high school, they had these superlatives that they would give out. I had a class of about 500 people, and my superlative was most likely to break out of the shell in college. So I was well known, but I was well known for not saying a lot. So people like didn't know me and then voted for me as the person who one day would show up and reveal themselves to the world, I suppose. That didn't happen. I didn't break out of my shell in college at all. I continued to do the same. I had a small group of friends. I wasn't like dating or anything like that. And then it was only when I was about 19 years old that I studied abroad and had gotten so sick of the experience at that time in my life of having a massive crush for usually a year, forming an entire relationship in my head that would one day happen, and then having that not materialize because they weren't interested, or if they were interested, I could quickly talk them out of being interested just by my general awkwardness. That had happened so many times that I was done with it and frustrated. So when I went abroad, I made it a mission to figure out what was going on and shift it. And it was actually very helpful. And when people ask me, how do you begin to change these things in yourself? Shifting your environment is so impactful. Probably one of the most impactful things, because what you don't realize is that your friends and family who love you very much tend to not like shifts that you make to your habits, particularly the way that you socialize with other people. But when I gave myself the freedom of being abroad, I tried everything. I worked on my eye contact, I read every book, and would just run little personal experiments, some of which didn't go well. There was one period of time, I remember, where the experiment was big eyes. And so I'd like walk around, so nice to meet you, and you immediately recoil your head. I swear I did that probably for a week until somebody said, dude, what are you doing with your eyes? Stop. Yeah, he was a good friend. I appreciate him for that. But it was just mini experiments, and I started them while I was studying abroad, and then continued when I came back. But by the time that I did come back, 6 months or a year later, the word in the college campus was like, what happened to you? You are a completely different person. You are outgoing, and you seem capable of talking, particularly to women in this case. And then friends were all of a sudden asking me, what should I do? And so that started sort of a second phase of my life where this was the primary focus day to day, after like eating, drinking, and maybe getting some money or paying my bills. Other people, how to influence them, how to interact with them, how to get better friendships, how to talk my way into a job, all of those sorts of things became the primary focus for me.
Just to spend a second going back to how much the town monologue was like during the forward years of your life, how did you feel, what did you think of yourself? Like, if I'd asked you, what do you think of yourself back then, and you were to answer it honestly, what would you say?
Honestly, which I couldn't have done, but I will tell you, shame would have been what I would have said. And I didn't know this about myself, but, I didn't have the right to speak up. People wouldn't have liked it. I remember I had one guy, and it didn't even bother me, because I suppose it connected with how I felt, but he said, Charlie, you're so normal that you're invisible. And I think that was by design. Blending in became a way to be unseen and a way to be safe, and I wasn't picked on. All of those things never happened just because I was there, but not in a way that was noticeable. The problem with that is, you're seeing, you get picked on, nothing happens, but also nothing happens, right? You're not making friends, you're not making connections. Other people were forming new groups and expanding, and I was not. So there was a huge disconnect between how I felt in a more public setting and how I felt in more intimate, private settings.
And did you look at some other people who didn't seem to have those challenges? I don't know, biologically gifted?
Yeah, freaks of nature. Oh yeah, so there was clearly the thought that something could shift in me to get me to have a different response didn't occur until I was 18 or 19 years old. And I think that's a really important shift for a lot of people, is where you start recognizing that it's on you, it's your responsibility. And the way that I put it at the time was, it's always my fault. So what I carried from 19 to say 28 or 29 was, if this interaction with you and I, or anyone doesn't go well, there's something that I could have done differently in order to make it go well. And so that gave me this fuel to constantly adjust because I was going, okay, that one didn't go great. What could I have done? Where did it break down? It was 3 minutes into conversation, but I felt they sort of dropped off when I started answering that question about my boring job in a really boring way. So let me in this next interaction talk about my job in a way that is a bit more exciting. And so I was really spending a lot of time obsessively reviewing and talking with my co-founder and best friend at the time, like, what happened? Where did it break down? What could we try differently? And then running these experiments. It was genuinely an obsession and a thrilling one at that.
What was the difference between the guy who went on holiday that day on the plane versus the guy that came back in terms of skills? What was the actual difference in those?
A willingness to stick your neck out there was the big thing. So one of the primary things that I did when I went abroad was ask questions that I otherwise would have kept to myself. So I was in a town, a small town in Costa Rica called Heredia, and I showed up. I don't speak Spanish, right? So there's even more reason to oh my gosh, I could make a mistake and it could go really bad and I could be bumbling. But I made a rule that I was going to ask. If I didn't know where my classroom was, I wasn't going to like sit on a piece of paper and try to work it out on a map. I was going to ask the human. And when it came time to figure out where there was a good restaurant or a good place to go out at night, I was always going to ask someone. And thanks to that habit, as well as the friendliness of Latin people, that extended my comfort zone. It gave me a number of experiences of you put yourself out there, something magical happens. So that is the easiest tip that I can give in one more sentence. So when people ask me what is something that I could do to improve my charisma, I would say you have dozens of interactions a day if you're in any sort of populated area. You have an interaction with the Uber driver, you have an interaction with the person behind the counter, you have an interaction with the person who you get into an elevator with. And there's usually a prescribed amount of social interaction that you have. Maybe it's hey, maybe it's even less than hey. The advice that I give to people when you want to get started, one more sentence. One more sentence that you need. So if you get into the elevator and the normal sentence is one floor, anything in addition to that. You live in this building for a long time, you know, and all of a sudden you get to know your neighbors because the person that is just the elevator person who you're putting them on floor 3 now has a name, and every time in this compound that expands, you get to have a wider social circle. So that's just one piece of the things that I would work on, which is one more sentence with people. But there's plenty more. I'm happy to dive into first impressions, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so first impressions.
Yeah. The big thing that I got wrong, and I see almost everybody get wrong, and it's bad common advice about first impressions, is that just the best way to get people interested in you is to be interested in them. And what I found is that is generally true, but it ignores the realities of status, which is, I'm sure you've experienced this, but a lot of people come up to you, they're very interested, but that doesn't mean that they're going to make a good first impression on you. It means that you might have compassion for them, it might even mean that you might feel love for them, but it does not mean that you're going to want to follow up and spend time with them. Probably you've experienced it. I don't want to follow up with this person and spend time with them, even though I see their sincerity of their interest. and I've been on both sides of this, right? I've been the person who was just so interested in you. There's a few things. If you just do this before expressing your interest in somebody, it changes the whole game. So, fun, trust, respect. If you, and this can take 60 seconds or less, can communicate that you are fun, that the person can trust you, and that there is something to respect about you, and then you express your interest in that person, it will completely flip the dynamic on its head. So, we can break it down. Fun. There's a ton of ways to handle this, right? You can crack jokes, you can do all sorts of things, but the easiest way to add fun to an interaction is you take the first question that almost everybody asks you, which is, how are you? Right? These are the gimmies that we just say, fine, good, how are you? Oh, there's a fire, whatever. And be more enthusiastic than fine. I would always say be better than good. So if somebody comes up to you and they say, how are you doing? You can be fantastic, or wonderful, or great, or ecstatic, or electric. And there's a whole separate conversation about how to make this real inside of yourself, because I'm not asking you to paper over anything. I think that was a mistake that I made early in my...
Hello guys, hope you're doing amazing. So a lot of people have been asking me about good mapping. So here is the quick look. And the exact setting that I use, does that keep in mind that this is a setting that completely works fine for me, but maybe there's another setting that works best for you, where you can also experiment and look for that setting that you are comfortable with. So let's get into it. So guys, firstly, I use Kamau CN2, and a lot of people have asked me like, if everything was there, so I'm gonna tell you like which button settings I use for Dino. So this is 1, which is left punch. This is 2, which is right punch. This is 3. Left kick, this is 4, right kick, this is 1 plus 2, and this is 3 plus 4. This button is for hit smash and hit burst. I use this, sometimes when you're taking side step, it's hard to press like this, so I use this button for hit smash and hit. Like Nina, I use this button. This button is for evil bits, So sometimes I think it's so hard for me to do this, and I use this button, just one button. So this is my current setting that I use on my compound video. Hopefully this video helps you. And
Round 2. Fight.
Oh god.
Get ready for the next battle. So, Kazuya. Round 1. Fight.
No. Oh, I could have blocked that.
วกนี้ก็รักษาสมดุลของความขัดแย้งเอาไว้ได้
Campsites are bright. Electric.
Get ready for the next battle.
Let's look at this guy's handicap. I didn't want to risk losing my points. I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
Get ready for the next battle.
You know why I love eating onigiri? Because onigiri also means to slay devils. Round one. Fight.
Get ready for the next battle. the next
everything
battle.
else in the game, and that will also lead to a poorer experience because we know GGG, they have a limited manpower. They cannot do everything under the sun.
Round one.
So we fight. They are themselves as respected positions. And they made this promise to not deliver, but I'm sure it is just that there are
P. Sorry.
Get ready for the next battle.
variety of bugs. There can be much more overpowered stuff. Overpowered things that outshine and outplan everything else in the game. That will also lead to a big experience because we don't need the game to stay up with the next time. They cannot give away everything under the sun 5.0. So we believe the testers. They are the developers though, and I respect the decision. I appreciate the transparency. It is unfortunate that they made this promise and they could not deliver, but I'm sure 4.0 is going to be a banger. It's just sad that there are zero damage changes at XS at 0558. I have bought way too many different controllers to play this game with, and in this video I will explore all of them, tell you what I like and dislike about them, before finding my perfect controller. I have created with properties comprising that specific to general or small cluster of characters. I hope that you can extrapolate what I'm saying to other characters or maybe even to other games. My current controller is the DualShock 4 or the PS4 controller. As a PlayStation kid, I like this controller generally a lot. I play Souls-likes and platformers with that controller and like the techno, I have some issues that on some days make me quit my tech sessions just because of this one. Most of the main issues stem from the as you can imagine, the analog stick is a normal for this game way too exercised and honestly not very strict.
I'm hungry.
Just to get down back to break the inputs. Not even something like electric, but something that is actually possible. I had to practice getting down back. Nowadays, when I am nervous, I drop it kind of often and think it is ridiculous that I have to practice something as simple as that. This is even worse for something that is actually difficult, such as electronics. This is what I meant earlier. I deliberately only pressed the down arrow and the game only registered a diagonal.
Let's end the stream. I wanna play Path of Exile too. Later guys. Thank you for stopping by.